Yo, I'm Kevin and I play The Binding of Isaac. And I also talk, but I feel like you've already know that by now. I also talk and play Binding of Isaac. What a start! So starting with R key is a little bit weird because we need to get a run going. It's weird for a few reasons. It's because one run will a regular run will take what, like 40 minutes, just about, right? And if I start using the R key, then the run just gets to like 120 minutes. Do I want that? I'm not exactly sure. The question basically just comes down to, do I have the banter material to keep a conversation going for 120 minutes? I'm told from little birdies that watch that my banters have been okay. So I have more confidence in myself to keep a conversation going, to feel the sound of the room. Now I know that I can't tell a story for 120 minutes. That's not what I started recording with. I don't have the material for that. I don't have the chops. Frankly, I don't think anyone has the chops to just kind of fly off the handle and tell an engaging story for like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's realistic, if you ask me. But what I can do is just kind of talk about nothings and talk about random stuff. Some people ideally though, right? Of course, I would want to tell stories every episode, but do I have that much story? I'm like 26 years old. I'm not 80 years old with a memory of Stephen Hawking. Okay, but Stephen Hawking is in hot water, so maybe he's not the best example. I'm no storytelling Einstein, okay? So don't expect things like that from me, buddy. I will talk about innocuous stuff though. Is innocuous the right word? I'll talk about random stuff. Like for today, I'm gonna... Where's the other secret room? It does not exist. I'm gonna talk about... What is it? Kitchen appliances. Oh, here it is. Okay, so as a person that's growing older, I have to start thinking bigger picture into my life. And that involves finding kitchen appliances, just like appliances in general, I have to start being more conscious of. It's a very adult thing. And thankfully, I don't have to adjust too much because is it weird to say that I like kitchen appliances or just appliances in general? I like appliances. I like having good tools that I like using. And kitchen appliances or other appliances like vacuums are grouped into the same thing. So I like thinking about and I like discussing little consumer electronics, including vacuums, microwaves, whatever that we'll get to. The issue, though, with kitchen appliances, though, is that... Why is this boss, like, kind of beating my ass here? The issue... Oh my god. The issue, though, is that there's way too many kitchen appliances nowadays. It's kind of surreal. Chaos card... Death. Ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds. There's too many kitchen appliances that I need to consider. I need to think about... I think about microwaves. I need to think about air fryers now. I have to think about coffee machines. And not just maybe not just a regular coffee machine, but like espresso machines that are getting more popular. Not that I'm an espresso kind of guy. Dude. The Whiz. Technically, the Whiz doubles my damage. Theoretically. I'll think about it later. But technically, I don't need espresso machines. But I'm just kind of putting this out there because this is not just for me. It's just for other adults that are kind of in the similar situations, and maybe they like coffee and they like espresso, and they need both machines, and that's kind of crazy, isn't it? What do we need two different machines to achieve the same thing, which is getting coffee into down your esophagus, right? But thankfully though, I'm not a coffee guy, I'm not an espresso guy, and I know that those machines can get incredibly expensive. But I don't care about those stuff, so I will probably leave espresso and even coffee machines out, even though I do drink coffee, but I cold brew it, which means I just kind of mix in ground coffee and water, and I just let it sit in the fridge for a few days, and then I drink that. And honestly, it feels a little bit more kosher than drinking hot coffee, and I like cold coffee in the mornings anyways. I tend to overheat, and I want to drink, and I don't want to burn myself. Is that... It feels a little bit more versatile, okay? I can bring it around in a little Nalgene bottle. I get a lot of people asking me, hey, what's in your Nalgene bottle? Because it's diluted coffee, so it has a bit of a red tinge. And people see that I carry two water bottles, two Nalgene bottles. So they're both like 1 liter, right? They're huge water bottles. And one, again, has homemade cold brew, which looks like red mysterious liquid, and the other is just water. And I find that really works well for me, so I really don't feel the need to use a coffee machine or an espresso machine. Even though I do have a regular, what's it called? I do have a regular coffee machine for like filtered coffee, but I don't need to. I don't think you need to. I think if you are a typical hot coffee drinker, I think you do need to try cold brew coffees. Or even if you're like a strong tea drinker, essentially diluted cold brew coffee achieves the same thing as like drinking tea, in my opinion. Well, either way, you're getting caffeine into your bloodstream, so you know who's really tracking. It's the same stuff at the end of the day. It's the same substance. It achieves the same goal. It's just a matter of how you get there. But another appliance that... So I mentioned air fryers. But there's air fryers, and then there's the Instapots, there's the slow cookers, there's the pressure cookers, there's also rice cookers, and they're all like kind of for the different things. But for any sensible adults, you can't just buy every appliance that you see that you will use once or twice a year whenever you remember it, because it takes way too much space. The kitchen is there's such a limited there's such a limited land space in terms of appliances. Every new appliance you get, you're adding a new plate to juggle, and soon you're gonna run out. Because for me though, even for me, I have a few things that I need to... I have a few appliances. Ooh, that's a little dicey, isn't it? That's a little dicey. I think we pass on that. I don't think we can do it. That's okay. It's okay. There's not enough real estate in the kitchen for all the appliances that you want. There's people that get like even things like pasta makers, bread making things. Even like my parents had a yogurt making machine, and that didn't last. My parents made yogurt like twice in Korea, and the only thing that's lasted was the plastic cup that came with it. It also made bread, but it was a bread maker, and I don't think my parents even liked bread. I don't know why they got it. So the same issue kind of persists throughout generations, and now the issue is people are buying pasta machines and they never make pasta. Or they get like an espresso machine and they get really into espresso for like a week and then they don't make espresso anymore. That is your marketer's dream, by the way. If you're the type to see like an espresso machine ad on YouTube AdSense, and then you're like, I'm gonna go get an espresso machine when I go to Best Buy next, and it's like your marketer's dream. You do have to kind of think a little bit more critically if you're that type of person. And I'm sorry that I have to be the one to tell you that. My parents, I have a slow cooker that I don't use. It just takes up space on top of my fridge. I kind of brought it with me to Montreal because I know that my parents weren't going to use it. But it turns out I wasn't going to use it either, so I guess no harm, no foul. And there's also... My parents also got me this random, like, electric grill. It's like, it advertises a smokeless electric grill, but how can you... Dude, the smokeless comes from the things that I grill on it. Anyways, there's a lot of stupid appliances, what I'm trying to get at. There's also... I'm just gonna go down... Ooh, interesting. I think we take that. Actually, I think we look for the secret room just in case. It has a rock bottom. It has a non-zero chance. There's also... I mentioned pasta maker. There's also other items like... What is it called? It's like a stand mixer. That's what it is. Stand mixer. Stand mixer has to be one of the better ones though. I don't bake often. But when I do, I bake because I have a stand mixer. It's the same thing for like e-readers. It reduces the barrier for me to get into... for me to achieve a specific activity. You know what? We just take soy milk. We just take soy milk, right? Yeah, we just take soy milk. Let me finish the floor first, though. Oh, hold on. Hold on. That's a notification that I forgot to turn off. So that happens every time, doesn't it? I'll get used to it. As soon as someone complains, I'll remember, but no one has complained. So submit a ticket at this point, and then it'll be addressed. Because if you don't submit a ticket, then how am I supposed to know that it's a problem? Where was I? Appliances. I was still talking about appliances, right? Stand mixers. Yeah, stand mixers, dude. I'm no baker, but I feel like a baker when I use it. I primarily use it to make banana bread. And man, it is a breeze to make banana bread with it. I just toss everything in, and you just kind of let the machine do the thing with whatever paddle attachment that you have, and it just freaking works, dude. I know that it's used for a lot more than that, but I'm not at that capacity. I don't have it to achieve or to use it to its full potential. I have it because my family wouldn't use it, and my family's not gonna bake bread. They're not gonna make cookies. They're not gonna do anything with it. Maybe my brother would, but I don't know. At least I have it to make banana bread, right? Ooh. Oh sure, let me take car battery. No, it's not really worth it. There's also a bunch of other like stupid electric... Dude, juicers? Dude, no one in their right mind needs a juicer. Oh, that pathing was insane for me. No one needs a juicer. No one needs a juicer. What are you gonna juice, bro? You're gonna juice carrots and apples for... Dude, my parents did that, actually. They did that for, like, a good year, and then they switched over to, like, MLM, electrolyte bullshit. But for a while, my mom was like, organic carrots, and then you're gonna juice the hell out of it, pull the fibers out, just to drink the sugars and the vitamin C's and the little bit of like magnesium or iron or whatever it's in carrots and apples, man. You don't need fibers. Dump that shit out. But nowadays, all I want is fibers. I don't want extra vitamin C's and the riboflavin. I don't know what the heck am I? Yeah, vitamin B2s. Whatever it's in carrots, dude, I don't want those. I just want fibers. The thing is, when I eat more fibers, I can feel it, dude. But when I eat extra vitamin B2s, B12s, extra beta carotenes, I don't notice that stuff, man. But there's no feedback loop. So I don't feel the need to continue consuming things that are not like that I don't see. To be fair though, I know that I should be eating more protein. I should really not have taken this item. Maybe it's just a bad start for me, but I don't know. This is taking a little bit long. I know that I should be eating more proteins, and I don't necessarily see the effects of the proteins that I eat. So I guess you could argue that it's the same thing for extra vitamins and stuff. But you could still agree that the same thing for proteins, there is no feedback loop. It's just kind of a delayed gratification situation. Right? You notice at the end of the year that because you focused eating more protein and eating less saturated fats, you kind of notice it much later down the road. Doesn't mean that all that effort was for nothing, right? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Might be. We're resuming recording. I'm a busy man, okay? It is family day, so I have family matters to take care of. I really don't, but I like to pretend that I do. It makes me feel a little bit more important. Things you have no way of knowing. You have no way of knowing that I don't have family day obligations, but I can pretend that I do. And maybe you'll appreciate the things that I make a little bit more. It's like, oh, Kevin's taking the time out of his precious day to make something that I can listen to. You ungrateful hoes. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is Coin City here. Dude, we don't need juicers, man. And we also on the same vein, we don't need food dehydrators. You could argue, oh, I dehydrate my chilies so that when I go camping, I have food to eat and I don't need to buy super expensive dehydrated foods. Or like there's very niche circumstances where you do make good use of food dehydrator and juicer. I really don't see it though. I really don't see it. Juicers is even a harder one to justify. I could see someone that's like, I'm freshly out of a surgery, but I like to, like, I don't know. I desperately need a... Dude, this run is not doing so hot, is it? Maybe I'll just do the boss and then I'll just reset the run, because I don't want to take too much health damage. Dude, I can half a mind to just reset this right now, brother. I could see someone freshly being out of surgery and then saying, oh, I need to juice oranges. I need to juice apples. I don't know what the heck you can juice. Can you juice like... anything? What else can you juice? Can you put like a... I don't know. any other fruits and vegetables in there? Can you juice kale? Would you want to drink that? That doesn't sound great, does it? You know what? Screw it. I want an Arky. Actually, let me check the shop. I gotta check the shop before Arky. Because this is... why am I so overwhelmed by just an extra large room? It doesn't make no sense. Dude, I had a great start. But that is the only justification for having a juicer. The thing is, Korean moms... Dude, Korean moms love juicers. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's Asian moms too. I can't speak for Chinese moms. I do not have a Chinese mom, unfortunately. So I don't know if Chinese moms, or I don't know, Japanese moms also like juicers. But I can't speak for Korean moms. Korean moms freaking love juicers, man. I don't know what it is about them. They just... It's a health... overly health conscious. And it kind of leads them to make worse decisions overall, in my opinion. Because they get so sucked up into the overly health conscious mindset, and it just kind of... And other companies... Oh, I did not mean to press that. And other juicing companies take advantage of that fact. They're like, yes, we know that Korean women, older Korean women love juicers. So just market K-drama and have advertisement breaks where they talk about juicers and how good it's for their body. And dude, they eat it up. Come on, dude. If I take one more damage, I'm just gonna straight up R-key out of here. I can't. Where's the shop, man? Give me my shop. I'm over here juicing it. They don't even taste that good. Oh, that reminds me, dude. I used to, as a kid, I used to drink this. If you hear it, and if you're not accustomed to Asian culture in general, you might find it very jarring. I used to drink like a deer horn extract. It's supposed to fill you with vitality and then, I don't know, give you a luck up or something like that. I don't know. See, this is worth it. This is a worthwhile shop. This is a very worthwhile shop. I'm glad. I'm glad that I stopped by here. Thank you. No, I don't want to do a boss. I don't want to do a boss. Is it worth doing a boss? Well, let's see. Let's see what the boss is first. Maybe it's an easy boss that I can bomb. We can have a fresh start from round 1. What was I talking about? I was talking about juicers again. Dude, my brain is kind of fried. Oh yeah, dude, I used to drink deer horn extract. Deer antler extract. It's a common thing, I promise. It's like... But it tastes so bad. It's like bitter. Oh, dude, there's no way I get through this room without taking damage, dude. No. We're not doing that. And honestly, I don't know what it did for me. I don't think it did anything for me. I think it just... Or maybe there's... I want to see an alternate reality where I lived my life with... Where I lived my life without drinking deer horn concentrate. Honestly, I don't know if it's real deer horn. How do you make deer horn extract? How do you make deer horn drink? It's like a little package, and it's like a little bit bluish. It has Asian style, like art style of a deer with long horns, which I guess you juice. Maybe you put that in the juicer. Dude, all my conversations somehow come to full circle. I don't know how I do it. But man, I'm over here juicing my deer antlers, man. That's gonna be a video title. Dude, the video titles write themselves sometimes. I kind of wish I took the dunce cap at this point, huh? I'm a little bit lacking. Dude, but honestly, I'm glad I didn't. That's kind of all it happened. I mean, there was other health things that happened, such as like acupuncture. Like for my health, I mean. Like my parents didn't do too much of crazy stuff for my health that I didn't ask for. And honestly, even now, they're like, "Oh, Kevin, you gotta drink these vitamin mixes." And I'm like, "Mom, I'm a, I don't know. When my mom sends me to like nursing school, for her to say, no, what you learn from that dietitian in your classes are wrong. You actually do need to drink these vitamin mixes to survive and to not get sick in these day and age." And I'm like, that's not how things work, Mom. And she's like, yes, it is. And I'm like, okay. And she has, I don't know if I've talked about this. I probably did. I probably forgot, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. My parents have essentially indoctrinated the entire family household to drinking these MLM like vitamin mixes. I feel like I talked about it. I'll talk about it anyways. And I'm the only person in the household that has refused the influence. Maybe it's just because I'm more stubborn. I could argue that I know better, but the thing is, all my family members, they know better. But they just kind of give in to the force of nature that is my mom. She has moved on from so many different health things. She has moved on from you have to drink juiced apple and carrots like every morning to like, oh no, it was a deer antlers. Dude, as soon as I get some health, it all goes down a drain, doesn't it? But we do need Incubus to actually literally do any sort of damage. Okay, we're cooking though. So I'm sick of different health trends that Asian moms go through. And honestly, I fear that I will go through the similar pattern. Like everyone, I guess every man or every woman sees the faults that their parents make, and then they wish that they wouldn't fall into the same trap, but then they realize that it's inevitable. It's written into the genome, and you cannot escape some fates, such as, like for an Asian woman, maybe it's written into the genome that you will just get a juicer, and it's kind of unavoidable. So whoever I marry, I worry that they will just fall into the same traps as... Dude, what the hell? Is this gonna crash my computer? Kind of. Maybe. I worry that whoever I marry, whoever I will make me a father and make them a mother, they will just fall into the same traps. And maybe this is the same thing, the same way I feel about golfing. I have no clue how anyone likes golf. You could tell me everything nice about golf, everything nice about being outdoors, everything nice about going out with the buddies, and I don't know what golfers do. They just hit the ball and they just kind of walk around, don't they? Or they have a little cart that they don't have to walk around, and then which kind of defeats the point that they're making to begin with. it's I don't understand golfing, but I worry that when I get older, when I become a dad, I will just fall into the same trap. I will, for some reason, through no fault of my own, through just simply through the instructions written into my DNA, that Kevin will just simply like golf and they will like fishing. Why? Because my DNA brain says so. As soon as I, become a father, I'll just happen to like... Ooh, empty vessel is real nice here. Empty vessel's real nice here. We're not gonna get any red heart containers at this rate. No. So... let's push our luck. It's inevitable, man. My wife will eventually get a juicer. I will eventually get into golfing and fishing. I'll get a boat, probably. Even though I think at this time that boats and like trucks and like electrical drills are stupid. I think it's... maybe my dad went through the same thing. Maybe my dad thought his dad was stupid for liking fishing and golfing. I honestly don't know anything about my grandpa, so I'm not going to talk about him too often. I heard that he was not a good person. That's kind of all I know. My family just kind of refuses to talk about some people, some characters in the family tree, and that is like one of the people. I don't know what my grandpa did, but he probably was... oh, I heard he was a gambler. I heard my grandpa like wasted all his money and time gambling. And maybe that's written into my genome. God forbid I become a gambler. Gambling is so stupid though, because I think about it and I'm like, I know myself to have a bad luck, so I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna beat the odds 8 times and then become a millionaire. That's beyond what I expect for the world to provide for me. I know that there's like fallacies. There's like typical gamblers feel like gambler is the solution and not the problem, right? But I guess that's the fact with the many other addictions. They don't see the full picture. Swallowed M80. No. Okay, now we have damage figured out, dude. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is just coming together. I'm just more... dude, imagine me as like a medical doctor and my parents are like, no, you're not, you need vitamins. I feel like that's what my parents would have done. Even if I went to medical school, they're gonna be like, no, you're wrong. That's not how health works. My mom telling me how vitamin D and calcium is good for your bones, as if it's new information to me. And I'm like, yeah. And then she goes on to say, all vitamins, you need a surplus of all vitamins. Not true. Your body only needs a few vitamins, few like molecules of vitamins on the reg. Like you don't need like 10,000 milligrams or whatever. You're just gonna pee it out. And then she goes to say, so she hears that argument and she agrees with it, and she's like, good, have a surplus of it. And I'm like, but we don't need surplus of it. And she's like, yeah, but it doesn't hurt you. I'm like, there's a lot of things that don't hurt me, okay? I'm not gonna do things just because they don't hurt me. That makes no sense. Dude, telling me to do things. Why should I do it? Because it doesn't hurt you. In the same vein, though, it doesn't hurt to not drink extra vitamins, right? So I don't understand her argument, and I never will. We'll fight the rest of our lives. She will rot in a care home if she continues to pressure me into doing stuff that I don't like. It's that simple. And I am the nurse of the family household. So I am expected to take care of my parents when they get older. And that's the fact about getting older, is that your parents are getting older, and sooner or later they're gonna need help caring for themselves, because sooner or later they won't be able to. And what my dad is 60? I think my dad is around 60. 62, I think. 61, 62 is how old my dad is. And the thing is, when a patient comes through my doors, to my unit. Ooh, PJ's is +4 soul hearts. Let me just take that. Tears damage. Let me take that. Tears, spectral tears. Spectral tears. We don't technically need spectral tears. We need more health, so we're not gonna take that. So when a patient comes through to my unit and I have to admit them, and I see that their age is 62, what I think is, oh man, what a young patient. Someone that is 62 is considered a young patient for me. And for everyone on the unit, actually. So it is... I'm not going to have to take care of my parents anytime soon unless something goes terribly sideways. Because right now they're pretty young. And my mom is even younger than my dad is. So I'm not sweating right now that I'm going to have to do the nursing advocating thing where... Because nurses do this thing typically when their parents get admitted, that they try to know everything about the patient's care. And that sometimes it becomes a problem because they start backseating. Unless they know exactly how the unit works, it becomes quite annoying at times when it's like, oh, why doesn't my dad get this medication? He always gets it at home. And maybe the fact is that he is getting the medication just at a different time. It's chocolate milk. I don't know what chocolate milk does for us here, so I'm not gonna take that. So people start backseating, and it's never fun working while someone is backseating and micromanaging everything that you do for the patient. I can see why, but it's a bit of a stereotype where nurses are it's usually nurses. Doctors tend to be a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more, because they are just factually more knowledgeable about health and medical stuff. But nurses, with their kind of limited knowledge, and I say this as a nurse, by the way, I'm not putting nurses down just because for no reason. It's because they're not simply as educated as doctors. And this is from my personal anecdotes anyway, so you can take it with a grain of rice. What was I talking about? The nurses. I was talking about something about nurses. Oh yeah, so when my parents, sooner or later, they're gonna end up in a hospital. It's kind of a guarantee that they're gonna end up in a hospital. When they do, I will never tell anyone that I'm a nurse. I will say, here's my game plan. I've thought this through. Oh my god, dude, these notifications are non-stop. People just don't message me, dude. When my parents get admitted to the hospital eventually, I'm gonna say, oh no, I work as a IT in the hospital, or I work as a janitor, like what is it called? They don't call it janitor, a housekeeping, cleaning services, whatever. But I'm never gonna mention that. Oh yeah, I work as a nurse, so I want to know everything about my dad's medication, what their care plan is, what tests are being done and why, and what the biopsy says, and what his blood work results are. Because, oh my gosh, so many lookups. Oh, I should not have gone there. That's not the right path. It's so annoying, and I am so terrified of being an annoying person that I often go out of my way to kind of nip it in the bud, right? I don't open that door. Maybe I'll hint at some things that I know like medical, clinical jargons or knowledge, because, oh no, I work in medical IT. I graduated with a computer science degree in 2021 or whatever. And then I'll try to kind of sell that story so that I don't become that annoying nurse family member that's backseating everything. I really don't want to be that. Because it does get annoying when it's like, oh, it's a little bit different when it's a doctor. That's like, when it's a doctor family member, because then they have a little bit more. Dude, the order of operation is backwards. Me getting rock bottom, immediately complaining, it's unreal. But stupid rock bottom, man. Because doctors, they, especially if they're admitted to the hospital that they're working at, they know the ins and outs. It happens quite often, more often than you might expect. I mean, not often, but it happens once in a blue moon, okay? But it still happens. It happens a few times a year, where a doctor gets admitted. Okay, awesome. But even if I was a doctor, even if I was a nurse, I'm not gonna... I will simply not make that known, because I don't want to be annoying. Hit it. Damn, that took a lot of keys. Ooh. Emperor is nice. Yo, I would have taken forever to get to the boss room. Rip frames, by the way. What's wrong with my frames, dude? Do I have too many mods on? No, I just have too many tiers on screen. But this is not even that many tiers, though, right? That's how the game's supposed to be. You're supposed to break it with too many tier effects, too high of numbers, whatever. Dude, nowadays, I don't know what's happened to my... Ooh, Emperor again. Okay. But when my parents, okay, this is like kind of inner workings of my brain type beat. When my parents like upset me, like, oh Kevin, you gotta drink these vitamin juices, or you gotta drink these carrot and apple juices, or you're gonna get sick or whatever. And my parents like tick me off, like in little ways. I think of myself as I I think, okay, you're going in a care home. You're living in a care home. I'm not gonna care for you. Don't expect me to care for you. Sure, I'm a nurse, but I'm not obligated. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna move to Portland. You're never gonna see me again when you're older. You're gonna be 80. You're gonna be admitted to a hospital. You're not gonna hear from me. I will not advocate for you. Is that messed up? Kind of. It's kind of messed up. Did they bring it onto themselves? No. Not really. Does it tick me off? And does it make me think of horrible things just to get back at them? Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Should have been nicer to me. But that is literally how, like, parenting works, though, right? Like, if you're not nice to your kids. Not that you should bend to their every will. It's a balance of parenthood, which I haven't yet to understand, but I know that you can't just bend to every child's will. But sometimes when you push your luck, maybe you're gonna die alone in a care home, right? And then they think they're gonna be going home the next day, and you tell someone that you're stealing their lunch, and then they start beeping at you. Maybe you start thinking about what you did wrong. Maybe you start. Maybe think about what you could have done to contribute to this issue. I hope that doesn't make me a horrible person, though. But I guess I do have to bring it back to my initial argument and say maybe it's written into their genome, maybe it's out of their control to drink multi-level marketing vitamin things and then indoctrinate everyone around them to do the same thing. No, that's gonna ruin everything. Maybe it's not their fault. But also, maybe it's not their fault that they're gonna die alone in a care home. You know, you ever think about that? It's not just to adjudicate. Is that, why am I saying adjudicate? What does that even mean? Adjudicate. A formal legal process of reviewing evidence and arguments to reach a binding judgment or decision. I don't know why it said that. To cleanse myself all my sins just by saying, oh, it's written into my, it's inevitable, it's fate, then I'm gonna get pissed off at my parents. Ooh, pop. No. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's nobody's fault. Maybe it's my parents' fault. Who can say? Now, this is really hard to watch, I realize, because the frames are just kind of tanking. But hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, baby. And that's how the deer horn gets juiced, baby. And that's how you beat the Binding of Isaac. Thanks for watching, y'all. See ya.